Alright, so what's up guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. So as you can see here, I've just wrapped up my post-workout meal. So if you guys are new to the channel, I'm currently in my off-season. So off-season is all about growing. It's all about trying to make improvements to our weak lagging body parts. It's all about trying to add new muscle tissues ready for when we go back into our pre-contest stage. Or if you're somebody that just, trains just for general, you don't actually compete or anything like that, and you go through that whole dieting phase and wanting to grow in the bulking phase and make improvements and things like that, this is what the off-season is all about. So it's all about nutrition, getting a good amount of calories and a good amount of good quality food, and also supplements like which I have here. So when I finished up my workout, I always have my post-workout shake, which will always consist of some maltodextrin, which is a carb powder. So for me, normally what I do in my off-season is I'll have 10 grams pre-workout, 10 grams in my intra-workout, and 10 grams post-workout. Now that's not a great deal of carbohydrates. It's 30 grams of carbs altogether, but for me that is more than enough that I need. It's plenty to get the job done. It allows me to get a good amount of recovery in my post-workout, a good amount of carbs before my workout, so I get enough energy before I go into it, and enough in my intra-workout to be able to perform better and without fatiguing as quick during my workouts. And along with this maltodextrin, I would have a protein source, which I've got here, Impact Protein, which is the salted caramel flavour. Normally I would only have one scoop of this, which is about 25 to 30 grams of protein, as I get most of my protein sources from whole natural foods like chicken, eggs, turkeys and things like that. But when I need that added amount of protein, I'd get it from a protein source or a protein powder like this one. And then of course some amino acids, so some essential amino acids, which is the Tropic Storm flavour, and that's pretty much it. So as you can see, with a good combination of supplements and nutrition, this is what's going to help us grow and make those improvements in the off season. But the topic of this video is not the supplements or the nutrition, it's about training, and it's about what is the best training style to use to help us make those improvements and grow in the off season. Now just like dieting, there's so many different varieties of training styles out there that we can use, and there's so many different varieties out there that people have created, and they've added a fancy little name in it just to try and draw people in, to make people use their training style over other people's training style. But at the end of the day, these fancy names, they don't do anything fancy. They just give you that fancy name just to draw you in, to make them say, like, look, I want to use this training program because it's called this and it sounds really cool and it must mean it's going to work and it must mean it's going to make you grow. But overall, when it comes down to training, and most of my loyal subscribers know, it's the basics. There's only two principles that you need to use to make those improvements in your off season when it comes down to your training. The first being lift heavy weights. You have to push your body out of that comfort zone. If you're lifting the same weight week after week, year after year, I can guarantee you, you are not going to grow and you are not going to make those improvements that you're looking for. Now the problem is you're not going to progress. You're not going to break down the muscle tissue to allow it to grow and allow it to adapt and, become bigger. It's not going to happen. If you go into a workout and you're lifting a certain weight week after week, but you feel like you're having a good workout, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're growing. And if anything, it doesn't mean you're growing. All that means is the day before, you've had probably a good amount of nutrition, a good amount of calories, you've had a good amount of sleep, you've had good supplementations, you've had a good amount of sodium, a good levels of water, so you're fully hydrated, and all that combined together is going to give you that good workout. But just because you've had that good workout, you feel like you had a good pump and you had to feel like a good contraction, that necessarily doesn't mean that that is just going to do the job and make you grow. Without stepping out your comfort zone and lifting weights that you haven't lifted before, you're simply not going to grow. Look at people like Dorian Yates, Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler, Kai Green. These people lifted hundreds of pounds of weights week after week. They were putting their bodies through so much stress, and that was what enabled them to put fitness and growth onto their muscle, because they stepped out of that comfort zone. They made sure each single week they was lifting heavier and heavier and heavier. Because what happens is when you lift a heavier weight, your body will have to adapt. So you'll break down the muscle tissues, enabling it ready to grow and repair and come back stronger. But when you shock it, what happens is it will grow back and repair. And then it will get used to it the next time you hit that workout again. And then again and again. And to the point where it just gets used to it, where it's not breaking the muscles down any further. So then what happens is you then need to progress even more. So you then need to add more weight onto your lift. and that's what's then going to break the muscle tissues down again, and then your body's going to have to adapt, and then the whole process keeps going and going until it plateaus, until it gets used to the weight, and then you keep progressing with the weight. Now when it comes to how much should I jump up in progression, it's all about minor steps. Don't jump from 30 kg to 40 kg to 50 kg and so on. Go small steps. So you're doing 30 kg first of all for 1 week. Then when it comes back to your next session, you're going to do 32.5. You're only progressing by 2.5 kg. But I guarantee you, if you do 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of that new weight, you're going to feel it, you're going to feel fatigued, and you're going to feel it in the next day as well. That is a result of you growing. Then the week after that, you're going to find that you're able to lift that weight more comfortably, with better form, better contraction. Then what happens is you step it up again. Then you go up to 35 kgs. And so on and so on and so on. Progressive overload with heavy weight, stepping out your comfort zone, is what's going to help you make those improvements and make you add that new muscle tissue and growth in the off season. Now the second tip is all about blood flow. Now when it comes down to blood flow, what's happening is you're going to try and push as much blood into the muscles as possible. By doing this, what is happening is you're pushing more nutrients into the muscles. When you put nutrients into the muscles, you're feeding it. You're allowing it to grow. And the only way you're going to do that is by putting blood into the muscles. So when you do sets on sets, you know, when you have minimum rest in between your sets and you keep that blood flowing, you keep that, you know, that rest period down to a minimum, that's what's going to be pushing more blood into the muscle, and that's what also is pushing more nutrients into the muscles. Because what happens is when you have your carbohydrates break down into glycogen, and then the glycogen goes into the bloodstream, and then the bloodstream travels and transfers those nutrients into the muscles. So when you go into your workouts, the more blood that you push into that muscle, the more nutrients you're pushing into that muscle. The more nutrients that you're pushing into that muscle, the more you are feeding it. The more you're feeding it, the more you're growing. It sounds so simple because it is simple. So many people try and overcomplicate so many things when it comes down to dieting, you know, bulking, supplementation, nutrition. But it just comes down to the basic simple facts. Lift heavy weights, step out your comfort zone, and get that blood flow. Without that all together, put together into a program and into a plan and set in place, you are simply not going to grow, and you will look the same all year round. I can guarantee you that. These are simple basic steps. These are simple basics, information and tips to help you grow. It doesn't get any simpler than that. When you go into your next training session, lift a new weight. You may only lift 2 to 3 reps on that new weight, but it's all about progressing with it. It's all about having that consistency and improving. So week after week, you're going to try and improve with that weight till you get to the point where you're lifting 10 to 12 reps. And then when you get comfortable with that certain weight, you then progress again. With the blood flow, it's all about sets on sets. So you're going to do supersets, drop sets, you know, minimum amount of rest in between the sets, keeping your heart rate up, pushing that blood into that muscle as much as you can. Don't just do a set, then sit down on your phone for 10 minutes reading Facebook or Instagram or taking a selfie in the mirror. Do your set, sit down, 60 seconds, get back in there, do your second set. Do that to 3 to 4, maybe even 5 sets. That's what's going to keep and pushing that blood flow in there, pushing more nutrients, and it's going to make you grow. I'll say it over and over and over again. It's that simple, guys. That's what's going to help you make those improvements in the off season. I know I've just repeated myself a million times, but I feel like I have to when it comes down to these videos, because so many people don't take it in and they feel like there's some sort of magic pill or some magic method out there that's going to help them get the results that they want. Just use the basics. Don't overcomplicate nothing. Use the simple basic terms and methods and tips and advice and everything, and I can guarantee you, you'll make those results. That and the combination of consistency, doing it every single day, making sure you go into the gym, pushing yourself 100%, keeping on point with your nutrition and your supplements, that consistency and those tips, that's what's going to help you grow. And I can guarantee you, when it comes down to your next pre-contest or when you come down to your cutting phase again, you're going to add some quality tissue onto your body and you won't regret it. But other than that, guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. As always, I'll be bringing you guys more content on a daily basis, answering some questions for you guys on off-season supplements, nutrition, training, and so much more. So stick around by subscribing to the YouTube channel. And as always, make sure you stay safe and make it happen. Peace.
Keep chasing shadows, they're always